Okay, we're going to be talking Bryan Insurance, and today we're talking about swimming pools and water safety and stuff like that. And I know Sonia and her crew have been bugging me for about 3 years now to get a swimming pool, put it at the house, and but I have no problem having the swimming pool at the house. The problem is that I would have to retire from all my jobs to stay home and take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, I want one, but you're right. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of expense.
I heard that.
It's true.
Yeah.
I want one, but, you know, I get it.
You know, Darby Brockway has a pool in his backyard. If you want to, I can make that happen.
No, I know people with pools. I just would love to have one in my backyard.
Well, me too, but I can't afford nor do I have time. I mean, you know how it is. I get up every day around 4:45, 5 o'clock, and I don't get home till 10, 11 o'clock at night, and so it's a little tough.
Almost everybody that I know that has a pool, almost everybody says they wish they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
I had one person say it's cheaper to check into a hotel with a pool every weekend.
City pool's open.
Yeah.
Denny,
Come on.
Brian told me at one time if I wanted his pool, I could come get it.
Well, my entire experience with that pool was painting it every summer.
Yeah.
Draining it, scrubbing it and repainting those stupid lines every summer.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, pools are horrible.
Yeah.
But you got to have insurance on
But
it.
some people, I mean, it's a great thing, and again, I would love to have one, but I get it. I'm not bitter.
And during that pandemic, everybody was just kind of like, we're bored, we're sitting at home. So some got pools.
Yeah.
They were at home, they had all that extra time that you don't have, and so they got them.
Yeah.
And now that they have them, there's all these other issues that come up about it.
So what's happening with swimming pools?
Well, it's important. I would say it's important that your insurance agent knows you have a pool, but or maybe it's not important. But a lot of people don't think about the implications. So if you're not gonna, fess up to your insurance agent that you bought a pool, that you put a pool in, there's still some things you need to consider that have to do with insurance.
Right. Mostly it's also, you have to look at your city ordinance. There's a ton of stuff that goes involved with that, not just getting the pool. But once you get past those hurdles, there's also insurance requirements. Some companies require certain steps to be in place for the coverage to actually react in case of a claim. Some of those can be ranging from having a fence around your pool, having a barrier of some sort. Some could have rules that are in place, like having emergency numbers up on a sign, being familiar with how to shut off pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all things that a lot of people don't understand, that they don't look into. They're just like, oh, I have insurance, I'm good. Well, there are certain steps, and that's the way insurance companies also help reduce the cost of their policy to you, to the consumer. They reduce coverage. So to combat that, you need to really read your policy, what you have. The second thing I would greatly look at is the liability. Now with pools, this is called, what's the term?
It's attractive nuisance.
Thank you, attractive nuisance. A pool, kids like to go jump in on. So that means they want to jump over your fence. They are going to come to your property, and that's just the nature of the game. So another thing that you need to look into is your liability on your homeowner's policy. Is my limit high enough? Is $300,000 it's pretty much the standard, but should I look at $500,000? Should I look at an umbrella to go over this? These are things that need to be happening. You could tell yourself, hey, my kid is not going to be the one that, if I tell them not to get in the pool, they're not going to get in the pool. From my own experience, we've had lots they're going to get in the pool.
Yeah, and so if you don't have one and you're thinking about getting one, I would recommend talking to your insurance agent and find out what the guidelines are on your homeowner's policy. If you do have one, again, you need to talk to them and discuss it. But regardless, if that's all, that's important. Insurance is important in the underwriting, but like Brad said, the liability exposure for you as an individual increases because you have that pool. And regardless of, if your insurance company is okay with it or not, it just adds another thing that could happen that you might have to have somebody might sue you.
Okay, 2 questions.
Okay.
First of all, during the snowmageddon, a lot of people's pools froze up.
Yeah.
And number 2, you've got, like you say, the liability of people coming over, the possibility of damage, drowning, falling, just all kinds of different things. homeowner policies, how do they extend out to things like swimming pools?
Well,
Or
glad you
do
asked.
they?
Okay, on the freezing,
Mhm.
that was interesting because most policies, just standard, if there is such a thing as a standard policy, would not have covered that. But it was interesting because we still turned in the claims because that happened to quite a few people we knew, and some of the companies just covered it.
They would just pay it out just to pay it out, even though it wasn't covered under their policy, which does set precedences
Yeah.
towards that, which again, that was their own decision. Each company can do their own thing they want, but it's still a contract that they have to abide by. Now, some of them did look at it and say, no, we have a provision in this policy that says no outdoor equipment or unprotected outdoor equipment. And every time I drive down my road, I look over, there's a house that has their entire pool system just sitting on the side of their home, completely exposed. And every time I look at it, I was like, you know what? That's not covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we found it interesting, and I guess it was, I don't know if it's just because of what had happened all over Texas, and they were just, like Brad said, they've set a precedent now, those companies that did that. We were happy that they did it.
Right.
But, you know, of course, I think, and having never owned a pool, I may not be saying it correctly, but really you should drain it and
Absolutely.
all that before the winter time.
Well, there's that, but there's also some other designs that if you do drain them, that could cause the weakening of the substructure underneath that could push the pool out. And some of them you want to have that weight to keep everything down. Now, I'm no engineer, I just know that has happened to us.
Okay. And then on the liability question, a homeowner's policy, if you are found negligent, legally liable for somebody's injury or for a death, your policy would pay up to the policy limit. The question is that limit enough? That's, you know, so like Brad said, the standard limit that you see is 300,000. You can increase that, you can buy an umbrella. You should really consider that because having that pool does add to your exposure.
That's a conversation to have with your agent. Just give them a call and be like, hey, I have some assets. I have a pool now. I want to protect that just in case. And we've seen, personally, I've seen lots of injuries, not necessarily with inside the pool, the drowning and all that. It's always the sidewalk around the pool, the slip,
where
trips, and
people
falls.
falling and stuff like that. Yeah.
And then like we were talking about the attractive nuisance, you're thinking, somebody comes on my property without my permission, there's no way I could be considered liable. Well, you can be, and it's because it's an attractive nuisance. If you have a pool, it's easy to get to. Some neighborhood kid goes over there because it looks cool and gets injured, you could actually be found liable, which doesn't seem fair, but it's just a precedent that's been set. And not just a pool, anything that you have that looks fun to a kid or a trampoline, you know, and you don't protect it by having a locked gate or whatever, you know, it doesn't seem fair, but it happens all the time.
So if you've got something like this in your yard, please contact your insurance, find out exactly if you're covered correctly,
Right.
because you could really get yourself into a major league bind here.
And speaking of water safety,
Mhm.
the Remembering Wyatt Dell Fun in the Sun that's going to be happening this Saturday at Fireman's Park from 9 to 1. Brian Insurance is going to be out there. Brad and Lynette are going to be there with our fun Shoot the Duck Gallery
Yeah, we're going
game.
to do the Shoot the Gallery again. That was very popular at the last one.
Yeah, so I know a lot of people in Graham go out to that event. It's a great event, and if you do, come see Brad
And Lynette.
And then there's apparently also a fishing tournament, the Young Anglers Fishing Tournament that same day, open to children 12 and under. So, and there's all kinds of cool prizes. So come out.
Look at that. The largest fish, the smallest fish, the most fish.
I like it.
And Grant said he will kiss the first fish.
So it's going to be
Look it out.
it's going to be a really fun, cool day, and come out to that. It's a great cause. We're actually taken the Remembering Wyatt Dell on the road in May. Tracy's going to do 2 different events for us over in the Hudson Oaks area, and we're excited about that. But you know, here in Graham, please support that event. It's a great event, a great cause, and so we recommend everybody to go out. And just a bonus, you'll get to see Brad and Lynette when you go.
So when I get done with run from the children, do we go out there?
No, because we have something to do that evening that you
Okay.
keep forgetting about.
Run from the children?
That's what we call it.
Yeah. No, it's run for the children.
We
Coming
have
up
sticky
Saturday
hands,
morning.
run!
And I'll be out there for that.
But we have the Sparrow's Nest
I
banquet.
know.
Okay,
I
alright.
know. I'm just messing with you.
Alright.
I know.
He keeps pretending like he forgets that we have that,
I
so.
know. All right. How do folks get a hold of you guys?
Okay, you can call us in Graham 940-549-2525 or second floor Ciera Bank Building in Graham, Hudson Oaks 2950 Fort Worth Highway Suite 500, 817-770-0096 or
BrianINS.com, Brian with a Y. Visit us online.
Get it done. Brown Insurance. If you have a pool or anything else in your backyard that could cause a situation,
yes.
give them a call today. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.